I gambled all of my dad's life savings away in just 5 minutes. Hi, everyone. My name's Ethan, and I'm here to confess the most ridiculously stupid thing I've ever done, and I was only 12 when it happened. Trust me, this story gets crazy, so buckle up. Alright, so let's set the stage. I'm 12 years old. You know that age when you think you're smarter than everyone, even though you're barely old enough to tie your own shoes properly? Yeah, that was me. I thought I had life all figured out. And my big idea? To make some quick cash. Now, most 12-year-olds want money for candy, video games, or maybe the newest action figure. Me? I wanted it all. I saw these ads online for gambling sites, and it looked easy, too easy. I'm talking those flashy pop-ups that scream, "Win big," and show a guy smiling with stacks of money around him. And for some reason, 12-year-old me thought, oh yeah, this is definitely a good idea. Let me explain my thought process, or lack thereof. See, I wasn't getting much allowance. My parents would give me maybe $10 a week if I did all my chores, and let's be honest, I was slacking hard. So, I started getting greedy. I saw my friends with all this cool new stuff, the latest Xbox games, those cool Nerf guns that looked like they could start a small war, and I was just sitting there, broke, with my 5-year-old Nintendo DS. So, I thought, why work for it when I can just win it? I had seen enough commercials to know that people won money gambling all the time, right? People hit the jackpot and become millionaires overnight. And my 12-year-old brain was like, easy peasy. Let's make some money. But here's where things go from dumb to really dumb. You see, I didn't have my own money to gamble with, obviously. I barely had enough in my piggy bank to buy a soda. So I had what I thought was a brilliant idea. I'd use my dad's money. Now, my dad is super strict about money. He's the type of guy who keeps track of every penny. He had a savings account that he was building up for years, probably for a vacation or retirement or something important. And somehow, I convinced myself that borrowing a little money from it wouldn't hurt. You know, just enough to get started. I waited until he was out of the house, grabbed his laptop, and managed to log into his online banking account. I swear, I don't even know how I guessed the password. Probably something super obvious like password 123 or the dog's name, but I got in. And there it was. Tens of thousands of dollars just sitting there. All I had to do was transfer a tiny bit into my account and bam, I'd be rolling in cash in no time, right? So I started with $200. Not too much, right? I figured I'd win, put the money back, and no one would be the wiser. I hopped on this online poker site because, obviously, poker is the most mature gambling game for a 12-year-old, right? Well, here's the thing about gambling: when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, you lose fast. I had no clue how poker worked. I barely understood the rules, but I thought, how hard can it be? Turns out, very hard. Within about 30 minutes, I had lost the entire $200. Gone. Just like that. And here's where my brain kicked into overdrive. Instead of stopping, like any normal person would, I thought, okay, no problem. I'll just bet more and win it back. Yeah. So I transferred another $500 from my dad's account. Then $1,000. And before I knew it, I had gambled away nearly $10,000. That's right. $10,000. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there staring at the screen, my heart racing, palms sweaty, and the weight of what I'd done finally hit me. I had just blown my dad's life savings, and I was 12. I wasn't even old enough to have a bank account, let alone gamble thousands of dollars. At this point, I was in full panic mode. You know that feeling when you do something incredibly dumb and your brain is like, why did you do that? But it's too late? Yeah, that was me. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and I was just sitting there, staring at the screen like it was going to magically undo everything. Spoiler, it didn't. I tried refreshing the page, hoping that maybe, just maybe, it was a glitch. You know, maybe the website was broken, and it would show my money again if I just hit F5. But nope. The balance was still zero, and reality hit me like a truck. Now, you'd think this is where the story ends, right? I fess up, face the music, and get grounded for the rest of my natural life. But oh no, this story's just getting started. Instead of confessing to my dad right away, I panicked. My 12-year-old brain couldn't handle the thought of him finding out, So I did the only logical thing I could think of. I ran away. And when I say ran away, I mean, I packed the backpack with some snacks, my Nintendo DS, and my dad's credit card, and I bolted. I had no plan. I didn't even know where I was going. I just figured if I could get far enough away, maybe, just maybe, I'd find a way to fix everything before my dad noticed the money was gone. Yeah. That didn't work out so well. I ended up in this random park about 2 towns over. It was late, and I had no idea what to do next. I tried to buy a bus ticket to the next city, but guess what? Turns out, 12-year-olds can't just hop on a bus with no ID. Who knew? So there I was, sitting on a park bench with no money, no plan, and the overwhelming guilt of losing $10,000. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, they did. Yup. A cop pulls up next to the bench. Apparently, some concerned citizen had called the police, thinking I was some runaway kid, which, technically, I was. The cop asks me what I'm doing there, and I just freeze. I mean, what was I supposed to say? Oh, just gambled away my dad's savings and decided to make a run for it? I ended up telling him I was lost, and he offered to give me a ride home. And honestly, at that point, I figured, why not? I was out of options. The whole ride home, I'm thinking about how dead I am. My dad's going to kill me. There's no way I'm talking my way out of this. And when we finally pull up to my house, there's my dad, standing in the driveway, looking furious. The cop explains that I got lost, but my dad? He's not buying it for a second. We sit down at the kitchen table, and I confess everything. The gambling, the lost money, the running away. And you know what? He didn't yell. He didn't even get mad right away. He just sat there, staring at me, in complete disbelief. Then came the part where I thought I was going to be grounded for the rest of my life. But instead, my dad just sighed, stood up, and said, "We'll deal with this tomorrow." I think he was just too tired to even process what I had done. And that's how I ended up spending the next 6 months grounded, with no internet, no video games, and definitely no access to my dad's savings account. Looking back, I realized just how stupid I was. Gambling is no joke, and messing with someone else's money, especially your dad's, is a one-way ticket to disaster. But hey, I learned my lesson the hard way. So, if you're 12 and thinking about trying to gamble your way to fortune, trust me, don't. It's not worth it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more crazy, real Reddit stories. Hit the bell to get notified when new stories drop. See you next time on Reddit Story Vault.